All right, so today we are diving into the entire state of Florida's housing data here. This is the most recent data from the Florida Association of Realtors. We're going to take a look at single family homes and condos and townhomes. Some of these numbers are not pretty, guys, but if you've been keeping your ear to the ground, you kind of already knew that. They do lag 1 month behind. So we're going to be taking a look at September here for what they have, and then we're going to dive into some more recent stuff that I've got on my end. All right, guys, so right off the rip, sales down 12.3% year over year for the state of Florida. This is single family homes right now. We'll get into condos, going from 21,000 down to 18,000 this September. I do not believe Hurricane Helene had really any impact on this. It happened at the end of the month, and this is statewide. This is not just the West Coast. It covers the entire state of Florida. So we're seeing a trend here where sales are slowing down compared to what they were doing last year. Paid in cash sales down 20%. That's probably contributing to that quite a bit because it is expensive to get a mortgage right now, as you guys know. Now, seeing stagnant price growth for the first time here for the state of Florida, median sales price only up 0.2%, sitting at $410,000 statewide. Average sales price posting a slight decline of 0.6%. So it's going to take you about $569,000 on average to purchase a single-family home in Florida currently. And here's where things get interesting. So the time to get an offer on your house in Florida is up 53% from the previous year, still taking only about 43 days, which is under 2 months. It's pretty quick. Median time to sale following suit only up 22%. Takes about 86 days to sell your home fully. So when they say median time to contract, how long does it take to get an offer? 43 days. Typically another 43 days after that to close, which tells me usually financing is increasing. As you're seeing, paid in cash sales are down 20%, so that kind of tracks. New listings, however, down 4.9% for the month of September as compared to last year. Pending inventory also falling. However, total active listings on the market up almost 40% from the previous year, going from 68,000 to 95,000 homes for sale in the state of Florida, bringing the month's supply of inventory to 4.6. I'll show you what that looks like historically as well, so that's coming up. But it was only 3.2 months last year. 43% increase in the month's supply of inventory, which in Southwest Florida is what we saw last year. It was very common for Lee County, Charlotte County, Sarasota, Collier County to have only 4.6 months of inventory just before we went into season last year. And we all know what happened when more listings hit the market. That inventory exploded. That months of inventory went through the roof. It's actually coming back around now. It went down for a little bit. So if we're going to see another mass rush to the exits here for the entire state in January, that's prime listing season. We could see month's supply of inventory in Florida flip to a balanced market. This is still a seller's market at 4.6, potentially a buyer's market. We'll see what happens. Taking a look at median sales price over the years, definitely up from what it has been, but kind of stagnant, guys. Really hasn't gone anywhere statewide in the past 2 years. Average, we get a little bit more of a wave, but also pretty stagnant from what I see. But however, if you notice, these are the first couple of months we're seeing negative year-over-year price declines on the average sales price. It's very minuscule. It's minus 1.9% for August, minus 0.6 for September, but it's only up. Look here. It's just straight up. Don't mind that this line that I drew. That's up. It's just been increasing steadily. So to see this fall for the first time is interesting. And this is what everybody wants to know. Inventory of active listings was only 80,000 in 2020. Now we know we're at 95,000. So we are over pre-pandemic supply currently in Florida for single-family housing. And it does the wave here every year. You guys can see around this time it's going to ride this wave. It didn't take a wave in 23-24 season. It's just gone straight up. So we have another season of that. Things could change around the state very quickly. That is echoed in our month's supply of inventory, which sat at just about 3 months in 2020. We are well over that now at 4.6, and the trend is here, guys. The trend is your friend. Unless you're selling, then the trend's not your friend right now. But it's showing that where this is projected to go. If we stay on this track, we could start seeing inventory numbers across the entire state like we're seeing on the West Coast and areas of Southwest Florida right now. So what is the condo and townhome market doing? Well, it's doing substantially worse. Their sales are down 20% year over year. This Southwest Florida numbers, guys, that's a huge drop. Enormous drop in condo sales, 20% year over year. Again, I don't feel like Helene had a big impact on this. Now, I can argue in October maybe it will, but these are September's numbers. Paid in cash down 28%. Median sales price sliding 3.4%. Average sales price actually increasing 1.8%. So a condo in Florida right now can be had on a median price basis for 314. The average is 451,000. Echoing single-family housing, we have the median time to get an offer on your condo or townhouse up 86%. That's huge. Median time to sale up 34%. Still not taking a very long time to sell these, to be honest with you. The pending sales are down 16% year over year. New listings slightly down. Pending inventory down 20.2%. So when I see new pending sales here, guys, what that basically means is in the month of September, how many homes got offers accepted on them? 16% less than last year. I'm going to keep it in. I'm not cutting it out. Pending inventory is a little different. That's the total number of condos and townhomes that are currently under contract. That is also down 20%. So these may have gone under contract in July, August. They're counted in the total cumulative number. So that's how you look at that. But not only are new active sales down 16%, the overall are down 20%, and our sales closed are down 20%. So this tells me the condo market in Florida is going to continue to see lower and lower sales volume in the coming months. They had a listing jump of 65%, going from 36,000 condos and townhomes to 60,000 on the market in 1 year. Big, guys. Bringing the month supply of inventory strictly to buyer's market for the entire state to 7.4 months. That's up from 4.1 months. Now, look at that, guys. Last year, that's an 80% increase. There was only 4.1 months of condo supply, and just a year later, we're at 7.4. So when I snap back over to single family here, you can see that 4.6 right now could be 7 next year, or maybe sooner. These things escalate very quickly. Median sales price of condos, echoing single family homes, stabilizing down a little bit from the peak statewide. First time we're really seeing a decline here. It's been pretty stable. Average sales price, too wonky to call, though. This is lower than the peak was. Inventory of active listings going from just over 50,000 in 2020 to 60,000 now. We surpassed pre-pandemic levels of condo inventory. I expect that to continue to grow, though I do have to say I am seeing an increased demand in condos from people looking to get away from the water or really not wanting to deal with the possibility of another hurricane hitting their house. Now, you do run the risk of assessments and things like that in a condo, but people seem to be willing to take that risk to share the wealth at this point. Personal preference. Month supply of inventory condos were at just about 6 months, right in March of 2020, right here, guys. And then now we are at 7.4, and it's been increasing steadily here as well. Condo and townhomes, 4.1 last year, and just look at the double-digit increases every single month. Now, that's a nice straight line. Thank you. 84, 85, 82, 87% increase in the month supply till, it starts, if you're not paying attention to this can catch you way by surprise. Like if you haven't looked at something like this in a year, getting a 7.4 that quick can be shocking. Now, you guys know my stance on what's going to happen with inventory. I think we're going to see another inventory explosion. Just not only in Southwest Florida now, I think it's going to be West Coast pretty solidly seeing an inventory explosion come January, and now potentially the rest of the state. It's going to be interesting to see if it spreads out. Obviously, it's area specific, guys. Some places inventory is very tight still, like Tampa. Still very tight inventory, even though people are trying to get out of Tampa and they're lowering prices. There's still not enough supply there to satiate demand. So it's not endemic of every area when we look at state level statistics like that. But I do like to go, top down. Now, I'm going to dive into an area-specific report here for just Charlotte County. This is the Punta Gorda MSA. This is proprietary stuff I get from my brokerage, so results may vary. Again, guys, things you see on Zillow, how many listings are on Zillow, are different from how many listings the Florida Realtors have, are different from how many MLS listings it has, are different from this software. So there's slight variations in some of this stuff. But this is October's numbers. This is what they have for October in Charlotte County, and I wanted to go through that real quick. So Charlotte County actually seeing an increase in sales for the month of October, up 3.92%, even with 2 hurricanes. And guys, we tend to see sales increasing in markets where prices are falling. That's what the trend has been for several months. Our new listings obviously are down 13.4%, and people keep saying, oh, the listings are falling in Florida. It's like, yeah, that's what happens this time of year. People are taking their homes off the market, getting ready to reposition them for the spring if they didn't sell, or they were damaged by hurricanes. No kidding, guys. No one really wants to sell during this time of year, though we are seeing a strange influx of new listings in my area. Anyway, I'm going to kick this into a PDF so I can kind of write on it here. The sales velocity obviously up 4%, like I mentioned. which led to a 5.26% decline in median sales price, and an average sales price of almost 9%, guys. That's not the first month we've seen 10% declines on the average sales price in Charlotte County. So this is single family. This is unfortunately the reality of the situation here currently. Prices are continuing their decline here. I don't think that's going to turn around anytime soon. Maybe we see stabilization. Your average list price, and this is why I say I'm having trouble finding these giant price drop videos to do, because even the average list price is down 7.44%. So people are coming down to reality, and they're not getting full asking price. So they're listing about 7.5% less, and then they're getting probably about 10% less than they were last year. And this is the month's supply of inventory. It's a horrible chart. It's too much information for me, but I'll point out what's necessary for you guys. Basically, the graphs here, that's your month's supply of inventory. You can see that we hit just about last December, January, we hit almost 10 months of inventory in Charlotte County. And I did mention it was elevated all year. It really was. It was about 6 months right here, which is a balanced market, they say. I'd argue that it's a buyer's market. But against what I thought was going to occur, which was a inventory constriction, we're seeing it come back up now. This is saying that as of October, we're sitting at 8 months of inventory. I think that they gauge it a little differently on this software. They just basically do the number of units number of units for sale divided by what sold that month. The Florida Association of Realtors does it a little differently. They do the total number of units available by the average of what's been selling every month each year. So you'll get slightly different numbers here, but we're seeing the inventory come back on in the fall, when historically we should not be seeing this right now. This should be an inventory constriction, and then it should bump again come the spring, but we're seeing it happen now, which, if you look here, is exactly what happened last year when I was sounding the alarm bell that we're about to have a massive inventory explosion in Charlotte County and prices are going to decline. It looks like we're setting up for round 2 of that this year with the hurricanes and everything on top of that. We could see some potential extremely large price declines. Now, I mentioned it's down 10% year over year. It could be even larger than that in a few months, guys, because we've been hovering around 3,000 houses on the market in Charlotte County. If we get anywhere close to 4,000 to 5,000, we do not have the demand to absorb that. Even if interest rates drop, we're not going to have the demand to absorb that, in my opinion. So that was a quick data one for you today, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit that like button down below. Consider sharing and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.